My next guest is back in action December 5th, the UFC Fight Night. He's going to be taking on Jimmy Fick. It is Cody Durden back here on the program. Cody, how's it going, man?
Going good, man. How you doing?
No complaints. Happy to be talking to you. I noticed when I was looking on Tapology, this is a flyweight fight. You must be happy going down to this weight class, which is something I know we talked about the last time after your last fight.
Yeah, man. Weight's going good. It's coming off, and I'm going to make 126, no doubt.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I know when we'd spoken last time, you mentioned about talking to the PI and making sure everything was good to get the cut down. Did you end up doing that, or was that just something, on your own that you figured out, hey, I can probably make the weight?
Yeah, I went down there and got tests done and, really found out more about the science behind my body. And, yeah, man, I've been following Clint's advice, and they send me meals through Trifecta, and just really been focusing on the weight and peaking at the right time. I'm ready.
Yeah, and it's so much easier having the PI send you the meals and give you a plan. Like, it's just one thing that you don't really have to worry about because all you have to do is listen to them, right?
Right, and if you listen and follow the protocol that they suggest, then there's no problems. It works, man.
And do you think part of the reason as well, I mean, obviously, you go down a weight class, you're going to be more optimal, but flyweight right now, it's wide open, right? I mean, we're just even seeing, UFC 256 now has the flyweight title fight on there as they're trying to, shuffle things around. But kind of what I'm getting at is that I think the timing of you going down is pretty good in terms of, making some waves. Is that how you feel as well?
Man, exactly, dude. I'm used to fighting bantamweights, and for the last 3 years, I've been fighting at 135. Not just 135, but top 135 guys in the region. And hell, I had a nice 135 pounder who actually fought 145 my UFC debut. So it's gonna be nice, fighting guys around the same size as I am.
When did you find out about this fight? Because I know when it goes public, it's obviously a lot later than when you actually sign the contract. But how much notice have you had for this fight?
About 10 weeks. My manager, Malky Kawa, and David Arvello sent it over to me. I read the text. He said, "What do you think about this matchup?" And man, I don't make the rules. I just do as I'm told. And I said, "Let's go." You know.
And you're fighting Jimmy Fick. I imagine, are you pretty familiar with him in terms of, the regional scene? Because he's a name that I know has been popping up, a lot, even before he got signed to the UFC.
Yeah, I'm a big fight fan in general. So I'm watching fights every Tuesday. I love the Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. It actually gives me something to watch on Tuesdays. So, I follow that. I follow all the weeks, pretty much every week. My schedule's set to watch the Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series. And I knew he was the champion of LFA. He had an impressive win, 38 seconds. You can't beat that, man, in and out.
Yeah. So after, all this, how do you feel like you match up against him in this fight? Because this looks like a fight of the night on paper, just seeing the matchup.
And I'm very confident going into this fight. I'm a grappler at heart myself. I've been wrestling since I was about 9 years old. So, it fits into my game plan perfect. I can stand up, and you saw that in my last fight. I can stand up even with a bigger guy, and I can go to the ground. So wherever the fight takes place, I'm confident.
And I know you've been getting some great training. If anyone's been following you on Instagram, you've been down at American Top Team, getting to work with one of the best bantamweights in the world, in Horiguchi. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have you been down to American Top Team before in Florida? I feel like you have, or is this the first time?
Yeah. I just spent, a few consecutive weeks down there this time, staying in and really just focusing in on fighting and fighting itself. Training 2-3 times a day, and working the game plan, man, and just really getting better. And I know if Kyoji can't tap me out, there's no way this guy's going to be able to submit me.
For sure. So how long did you actually spend down there? Just a couple of weeks?
2 weeks.
Nice. Okay, that's good. And then back home, who are you getting to work with? Who are some of your training partners?
Working with Diego Lima. He's got his fight coming up.
Bilal Muhammad, right? I saw that. Really big fight for him.
Yeah, they're both on some, I think 2 or 3 win streaks, and it's gonna be a good fight, man. And I came home this week, finished the week out training, and then this weekend, the Saturday will be my last hard training, and then focus on the weight cut.
I know he's a much bigger guy, but is Douglas Lima back in the gym? He had a really close fight with Mousasi, a couple of weeks back for Bellator.
He was back in the gym. I think right now he's in Brazil.
Taking some time away. Yeah, don't blame him after a fight like that. And just quickly, talking about your team, how's Rocco Martin doing? I've been trying to keep tabs. I know he had that really serious, I think it was infection or something after his last fight. Is he doing better?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's actually back doing boxing training and
nice.
sparring and getting his legs back under him. So, he's looking at February, March return. That's what he told me he planned on doing. So.
Yeah, because he's not only a good training partner, but also just in the gym, personality. I know he's a guy that'll crack some jokes and stuff, right? So you need that energy sometimes, right?
He's definitely, man. I talk to him at least 2 or 3 times a week, man. He's definitely a friend of mine, and we created a bond when he came down here, and he's he looks out for me, man.
That's awesome. Good to have him in the gym. So we talked about the weight cut. I imagine everything's going well. You're smiling. We're a couple weeks away from this fight. I imagine the cut's going well.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm on target to make weight. So, a lot of people question if I'm going to be able to make it or not. But, man, I think this is my 24th, 25th fight, and I've never missed weight, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to miss weight this time.
Yeah, and just to give people some idea as well, looking back at your record, I think you've had a flyweight fight before. I know you've had catch weights like of 130, right? So you've been close, I know, a lot of times, right?
Right. 2019, I fought at 130. I fought 3 times in one night, won the tournament, walked away with the belt and $10,000. I fought flyweight a lot earlier into my career, and I was trying to balance between working and keeping the weight down. And when you're in the construction field, it was just damn near impossible to eat. So I was pretty much like if I'm there and I'm clocked in, I'm going to give you 100%. I'm not there just going through the motion, and that's what has gotten to me where I am today. When I was working in construction, I wanted to be the supervisor. I wanted to be the man in charge. I wanted to be the best I could be, and I just couldn't eat. I couldn't eat the way I should working in construction. When the UFC called and gave me the opportunity, I took the opportunity and ran with it, and now I don't have a job. I just focus on training. Training is my job, and that's why I show up every day and give it 100%.
Awesome, man. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Well, Diego was going to be in my corner, but he had to pull out because he's got his fight coming up, which is understandable. I want him to succeed as well. So I'm going to have 2 of my teammates and a friend of mine.
Awesome. Sounds good. And how's the fight playing out in the 5th? You feel like you're going to get your hand raised, but how do you feel unfolding?
Man, I think it's going to be a tough, hard fight. You know what I mean? Jimmy Fick, obviously, he wants to get it to the ground. But, I have no problem going to the ground. So I'm confident that if it goes to the ground, I'll be comfortable there as well.
A win. I mean, where do you feel like that puts you? Because I know obviously Flick is, coming in here making his mark, and you are as well. Where do you see sort of a victory putting you in the grand scheme of things?
Man, like you said, it's wide open right now, and we'll have to see how it plays out. I have a few guys in mind, but my main goal right now is to get through Jimmy Fick, and I always take it one fight at a time. So that's the goal, man. Just get through Jimmy Fick.
You mentioned leaving your day job, and obviously, you got to make sure that. Sorry, you just cut out there for a second. You mentioned, you don't have the day job anymore, so I imagine you got a little bit of extra time in between training, recovery and all that stuff. What are you doing for downtime right now? Are you getting in any video games or watching any Netflix, anything like that?
Man, I come usually, when it's a tough practice, man, I try to come home and get a nap in, man.
Nice.
That way I'm ready for the next session in the evenings. But if I'm not getting the nap in, man, I'm doing some chores around the house to make my wife's life a little bit easier. You know what I mean? Whether that's folding laundry or just doing some house chores.
Good for you, man. This is going to be a great fight. UFC Fight Night, December 5th. Cody, always appreciate the time, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
Find me on Facebook, Cody Durden, Instagram, Cody Durden, and shout out to Fathlete.
There we go. Smart wearing the shirt. I always tell fighters, wear your sponsors in the interviews. You're getting free, publicity. So,
Triad Mechanical, Barber Orthopedics, Lifeline CBD, Eat Clean, Bro, and I think that's pretty much it. Scott Brandon, Dale Mesman, thank you for all the support, and my buddy Dr. Stephen Felton. Thank you for everything y'all do.